Look. They saying you was on the phone with a man.
Bro, I'm gonna call the cops, bro. Yo, stop. Call the cops right now. Call the cops on this nigga, bro.
Oh, listen to me. Look,
He just pushed me. He tried to push me against that. Like,
hell no.
So now you're putting your hands on women? Hold on.
call the cops, bro. He doesn't want to block that home.
Come on. Now you talking about we put our hands on you.
Yo, you try to push me over that, right, Sab? You saw that?
4 inches is really not a lot. That much.
Okay, first of all, that room is absolutely freezing. I mean, I can practically see your breath in the video. Yeah, 4 inches is plenty. I mean, you almost pulled a finger muscle just trying to get a good grasp on that massive piece of wood. Could have practically been part of Noah's Ark, it's so large. I mean, shoot. And you talking about it's too narrow to balance on? Maybe your feet wide. Maybe from all that overuse. Okay, all that frolicking and flipping you've been doing.
There's a lot of men in relationships right now that are dealing with women who never grew up because they expected to be treated like a princess the entire time, and they were actually looking for a father figure, not a partner. So a lot of these men have adapted themselves and gaslit themselves into happiness, thinking that this is the best that they can do. And the reality is that these types of men will spend hours in the gym. They will spend hours playing video games. They might even pick up a drinking habit or a smoking habit to cope with the fact that they have a literal child that they are married to in hopes of gaining some kind of adulthood within their marriage. These are the same types of men that eventually are gaslit into believing that they are the problem, that they need to go to therapy. These men will actually sit in therapy believing that they are the problem, when really the real problem is that they have women that are childlike and children that want a father, not a partner, while simultaneously hoping one day that she grows up into a woman that knows how to take care of herself, take care of a family, and he will stick it out with her because he loves her unconditionally while simultaneously being miserable. Okay, bye.
You have a J on your necklace. What does that stand for?
The first letter of my name.
Which is?
You already forgot?
No, I know it. Juliana.
No.
Juliet.
No, you forgot my name.
Jamie.
Well, if you want to date a Mexican.
I mean, I'm on the wall about it, but... like on the fence, but... a little bit darker joke. What was your name again? Juliana.
Jennifer.
Jennifer!
And why did you pop your balloon?
She's just not my flavor. I'm big into health and fitness, and she's not, so just respectfully.
I love all my finest, and you don't have to. I'm good.
God be with you.
Is he someone that's your type? And what's not your type?
He too bougie for me. I like a down-to-earth female, and he's too uppity for me.
Jacob Elordi, you have 10 minutes before I walk down the aisle.
There is such a double standard here. This has literally become a trend for women in their wedding gowns about to walk down the aisle to call out some man that they have been interested in or have crushed on. They give them like 10 minutes, to call them before they walk down the aisle. I understand that it's a joke, but not everyone understands it as a joke. And that is why it is actually disrespectful to your about to be husband, because he can even understand it as a joke. But if Aunt Susanna doesn't see it as a joke, all of a sudden he's seen a different way, which is not good for that man, and it's not a great way to start off your marriage.
Oh, go get my Amazon packages. They just got here. Oh. Hey, babe, do you mind grabbing my Amazon packages for me, please? Thank you. Why is everything a mess? Why do I always have to be the one to clean up? Why do I always have to tell you, hey, the house is dirty, maybe we should clean it? Ugh. Hey, babe, do you mind helping me clean the living room? Thank you.
Yeah, I want to eat from the back so bad right now.
A lot of heterosexual men don't like women.
A lot of straight men want access to women's bodies. They're not actually attracted to women outside of what they can use them for.
men don't like women, this is just allowing women to avoid accountability even further. Men don't like women because women are unlikable. The women that the culture industry produces in the modern era are unlikable. Well, what about the fact that women seem to just select for men that don't like women and only objectify women? Not pandering for a woman's approval, not deferring to a woman for her evaluation. This is a signal of high value and high status. This is what women select for. So it seems to me that female mating preferences have something to do with this, huh? Goes even deeper than that. Marrying for romantic love is an experiment that is only 100 years old. Before this, men and women got married as a form of alliance. It was an economic decision. This idea of marry your best friend and process all of your feelings together for the rest of your life is a 100-year-old concept. If you zoom out on human history, that is a blink of the eye. Historically, men have had other male companions and community and tribe. These are low effort relationships. The relationship that women claim to want in a marriage, the problem is that they want all of their boxes checked. This is already arbitrary. And then the boxes change, the goalposts move. You cannot satisfy a woman. The way that women want to be loved is a function of how much love they think they can get. And then once they get it, they need more. Do you not understand the mechanism? But back to how women are unlikable, bro. They have self-justifying desires and their feelings are automatically fact. They blame men for everything and then they sell therapy to men for failing to love them correctly.
Women want a man to lead. At least the women I know. Christian women, biblical women, godly women, traditional women, they want a man to lead. And we want to know that you can make decisions. And we want to be a passenger princess. We want to not think when we're out with you. And dating is so hard because, honestly, just make a plan. If you're going to ask a girl on a date, just make a plan. Okay, what time are you available? Great, let me find a place for us to meet. And a girl will just swoon. Honestly, it's like bare minimum, but it's not happening. It's rare and it's really frustrating. Like what happened to the art of asking a girl out? None of this. Oh, I'm being spontaneous. Let's go do this. No, especially from the app. I am meeting you. For the first time. I've never met you in my life. You could be serious. I'm not doing this spontaneous stuff. It's also rude. Remember, like back in the day, you'd hear that, if you wanted to take a lady out, you would pick her up at her house with flowers. I get it. It's an app. You don't know if you like this girl yet. You don't know if you have a connection.
Reason number 37 why I love men is because when they're planning a dinner date, they'll literally search up on their phone restaurants and then scroll through the restaurants and they'll be like, yeah, I found this really great spot. I'm going to take it to you. And I can't even explain to you why that's so wrong. And the men in the comments are going to be like, what's wrong with that? And that's why I love you guys. You're like a little goldfish in a bowl with no idea what's going on in the rest of the universe. I love you.
Yeah, men have no idea what's going on around them because the rules that women set for men constantly contradict themselves. Plan a date and pick the restaurant, but don't choose based off reviews. Put in some effort, but don't try so hard. Be ambitious and chase your dreams, but also be available to me at all times. Be emotional, open up to me, but not that emotional, that's needy. There's actually only one guy I know that's making the effort to listen to women like this and keep track of all the rules that women have for men.
He's a 10 out of 10, but when you go for drinks with him and there's a straw in his drink, he uses the straw.
I know it might seem that from all of these rules, women are clear-minded, like they know exactly what they want. It's the exact opposite. These women have zero clue. All of these rules are an expression of how lacking in self-awareness they are. We seriously have an entire generation of women who say with a straight face that they are attracted to nice men, who are kind, who treat them well, who are gentle and emotionally open, while at the same time they have one-night stands with bad boy jerks who treat them terribly. And the fact that their actions and their words completely contradict each other doesn't even seem to read.
A lot of these modern women, and Sarah had a great point, a lot of these modern women are children with the way that they act, and a man is kind of stuck. I have a lot of men say, I would leave, but I have responsibilities. I would divorce, but I have responsibilities, right? And it's modern women out here saying, oh man, just leave, the kids would want you to leave, and a whole bunch of other nonsense, right? But men are like, yeah, you know, maybe the kids would be able to get over it, but if at all possible, I would like to keep the family unit together. Oh, well, you just want the benefits. Well, you know, to be honest, I think it benefits me. I think it benefits the kids, and I think it benefits you too. I think we all can benefit. But modern women don't really respect something that is mutual, even if you don't like each other like that. They don't respect something that's mutual where everybody is benefiting from it. It has to be them. Like if all parties are going to be mutually benefiting, they have to be the top priority. That's the only way that they feel like it's a fair exchange.
If I was a man, I wouldn't want to approach none of these girls either.
Did modern conversations around consent make men more hesitant to approach women?
I think that men are not approaching women anymore because women don't know how to just be women. Like the femininity is almost non-existent these days.
Yes, sir.
Because women don't put themselves, like literally, like you were just saying, take. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole mindset of like, oh, I'm just gonna get a nigga and he got a bag and this and that. Like it's taken away from the authenticity of just actually meeting somebody, liking them and seeing what you guys can build and grow together. If it's gonna be all about a bag and then we're not coming to the table with anything of substance, why would a man approach you? And I do feel like us as women need to take some accountability as to why that's not happening. We do be acting real harsh. We do be acting real, like it's just very aggressive. And then even it's at a point where women are like approaching men and like, oh, like basically trying to take they like give me the dick, like that's all I want from you and da 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 da. And unfortunately, it's because, you know, it's a psychological thing. We feel like that's all the men want from us. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna beat you at your own game. I don't even want you anyway. All I'm trying to do is get whatever the case may be. And that is just fucking ridiculous to me. So I think that it's gonna be hard. If I was a man, I wouldn't want to approach none of these girls either.
Okay. All right.
Because what is y'all doing?
So
but
go ahead.
There are a group of women, because the thing that I do want to say is not all men are the same. Not all women are the same.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was saying, where's your accountability as far as the type of women that you are approaching and talking to? Because if they don't have a certain type of mindset, you're not going to get that from them. You're going to meet the same woman in every single person.
This is why men don't pursue women anymore. Because so many men are on dating apps nowadays, it has given them this illusion of an unlimited choice in women. So when men go out to bars or restaurants, they are not pursuing women anymore, because they know that when they go home, they will have the backup of the dating app. It's way easier to sit on your sofa all night and to scroll and swipe and chat all night than to try and pursue a woman in a bar. And then there is the image that men have of women nowadays that we have become demanding. Men know that women nowadays, they don't just want a provider, they want a man who is their best friend, their advisor, a good father to their children, helps in the household. And knowing that we have this whole list of expectations, men are just paralyzed. They don't even start to pursue a woman. And another reason for why men don't pursue women anymore is that through texting, men can chat with so many girls at the same time. And for a woman, texting feels like he's pursuing her, but in reality he's not, because texting doesn't need any effort. And after a month of having texted together, when a woman meets up with that man, she feels all bonded and maybe she even sleeps with him. And it's easy for that man to ghost her after that one night, because he doesn't have any feeling of loss, since he didn't have to make any effort to pursue her.
Kind of funny when you think about it that women get so outraged about men wanting women to text first and plan dates and show any level of reciprocation. It's almost like these women forget that men need emotional support and that men are actually human beings that need emotional love and affection in return. And some of these women will actually withhold love and affection until these men make it official. And when you really think about it, if women are withholding love and affection or any kind of reciprocal energy to make men act a certain way or do certain things or to make it official, is that not manipulative because you're basically changing your behavior to get a certain outcome? Make sense. But at the same time, women want princess treatment without ever getting a ring. So let me get this straight. You're not going to show up in a relationship until it's official, but you expect him to show up in a relationship before it's ever official. Yeah, seems fair. And what's also funny is the amount of women that call men gay or sassy or say that men are on their period if they want any kind of love and affection, because that's almost like saying that you don't like being a girl or you find it insulting that women need so much emotional support. Calling a man, showing any kind of effort, planning a date, putting in any kind of reciprocal energy towards a man is literally the bare minimum for women, and it's in. Y'all come on here all day long and talk about the bare minimum, but you can't even meet the bare minimum for what men expect in relationships. And yet, some of y'all can't understand why you're still single. Okay, bye.
I have a theory about women and men. I haven't said it out loud. I have a theory that almost everything about like major differences in relationship between men and women can be traced back to women getting their period. Go with me on this. I'm like any man. When I get a head cold, I'm just go on without me. No one's ever been this ill. I'm so sick. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Women from a quite young age learned the following lesson. You're going to be uncomfortable roughly every 28 days and you still have to get. So the fact that you're uncomfortable, you still have to operate under those conditions. You don't get to say, I have cramps, I'm going to be staying home for the next 2 days. You don't get to do that. So one, you learn how to operate when you're uncomfortable, okay? Two, you actually have to plan ahead. Like a woman getting her period, like you have to be like, okay, I have to bring sanitary products. I have to think about, if I'm planning a thing, I don't want to plan it for this particular week because probably that's where I'll be in my cycle. So you have to plan. So I think that thing creates like certain habits of thought, like a willingness to be uncomfortable and still push through and operate, a planning ahead of things, a realizing that like your body and your emotional state are going to fluctuate sometimes due to circumstances beyond your control and you just have to ride with it. Like men don't have anything like that. We're uncomfortable even for a second and we're like, well, this is broken. This is done. There's something seriously wrong. So that's the reason why, like, I think a lot of men, the minute something's gone uncomfortable in their marriage, they're like, well, we're done. Roll up the sleeve. We're done. We're finished. This is it. It's wrong. And it's like, no, you got cold. You're gonna be all right.
Listen, I've been around enough women to know women lie.
Oh, yeah.
Women lie.
Yeah.
And not only do women lie, women lie. The reason women lie so much is because they don't even believe they're lying.
Yeah, they rationalize and make it seem like it's reality.
They believe it's true.
Yeah.
A woman will crash a car into a tree.
Yeah.
No other cars around. She crashes into a tree.
Yeah.
Why'd you hit that tree? Well, it wasn't my fault. Why? It was raining and it was dark. You knew that when you got in the car.
Yeah.
Everyone else driving in the rain and the dark, and they didn't hit the tree.
Right.
Why did you hit the tree? Yeah, but it was raining and it's dark, and it's the first time I've driven the car, so... Yeah, but... Okay, whose fault is this? The tree's? That tree's been there for 100 years.
Yeah.
Never been hit before.
Yeah.
The car has driven up and down that road 10,000 times and never been crashed. Who do we blame? Well, it's not my fault. Don't blame me. That's the female mind. They're not responsible for anything ever. Now, if you ask that same woman 2 weeks later after she hit the tree, you'd be like, I got a Ferrari. You want to drive it? Yeah, I want to drive it. Are you a good driver? I'm a great driver.
A lot of men today, they're not afraid to approach women, but they are tired of the modern dating environment. And society keeps asking, why don't men approach anymore? But almost nobody asks the real question. What happened that made men stop trying in the first place? Because for many men today, approaching women no longer feels exciting. It feels emotionally risky, exhausting, and just sometimes really not even worth it. So let's talk about the real psychological reasons this is happening. And I've broken it down in a few parts here. So the first part, men are just tired of disrespect. Most men can handle rejection. Men deal with rejection all the time as a part of life. But the real issue is disrespect. A lot of men feel that modern dating culture treats them like a problem before they even speak.
Women attack men when they're happy.
Women attack men when men are happy? So wait, why do women do that?
Because happiness and power comes together in a man's body, and the power is scary. Happy shows up here. It shows up here, big happy, goes down the arms and high five, smack on the butt, spike the ball. That's a big happy. This is also where you experience power. The power terrifies us, especially if we don't feel connected to you, because we're afraid you'll use it against us. If we feel connected to you, then we're happy you're happy. If we don't, it's scary. And so we have to diminish the power. So we will attack them when they're happy. They come home, they caught a big fish or whatever it was they did. If it wasn't something that I did that gave you that feeling, then that's a problem.
You're more excited to go out with your friends.
That's supposed to make you happy.
Why do you seem so happy to go on a trip with your friends? You don't seem as happy to go on a trip with me.
Yeah.
You know what I find funny is that a lot of these modern women say, I want a man to lead and plan. Lead and plan the date. Take the lead, plan the date. Take the lead, plan the date. Not, why don't you take the lead and plan out our lives for us? Why don't you take the lead, make a decision right here for where we're going to live, what we're going to be doing, where we're going to go. Take the lead, plan what you're going to say when I walk out this room wearing stuff that I'm not supposed to be wearing. Right? Take the lead, give me instruction. I walked out this room, like I said, wearing what I'm not supposed to be wearing, going out with people I'm not supposed to be going out with. I don't want you to step in. I don't want you to take the initiative there. That's not what I mean. Don't take the initiative and say, do you think that dress is too short? Don't you think you shouldn't be out until 2 o'clock in the morning? Especially when you don't have any protection? Y'all just wandering around the street. Does that make sense to you? No, I don't want you chiming in on that. I only want you chiming in on a specific set of things that I, as the woman, deem okay.
We hear women come up and talk about how successful they are and how intimidated men are, and they never say a word about their character. And I just can't help but think about how turned off women get when men lead with money and lead with accomplishment and end up having nothing but unavailability and coldness and lack of emotional development, because that unfortunately is what it takes to succeed in certain career fields. You can look it up. And for some reason, women think that the success that they've amassed has somehow happened without them becoming devoid of a lot of the personality and relationships that men are devoid of. And they flex their accomplishments and money the same way men do. And somehow we make it different every time. Every time. No disrespect to you, but you didn't say about being a good woman. Nothing. Why you didn't say no. Fuck all that, bro. Didn't say nothing about. I can tell you what. This is about a larger point. This is not about her as an individual. We don't hear I'm successful, I got my degree, and I've been in therapy the last 3 years working out my issues. I just bought a house, and I also identified my childhood trauma and it took inventory over my baggage, and I got it out the way. Oh, also I'm loyal. My time management is on point. I do what I say I'm gonna do. I'm considerate. We never hear any of it. What I hear is when say that y'all act like, when men say that y'all have turned into alphas, what we're talking about is the worst parts of manhood. Y'all have taken it on. Now the problem with men is that we won't admit that those are the worst parts of us too. But shorty, y'all have taken the worst parts of what it means to be successful, and y'all wear that like a badge. Look at what it's done to us. If you need an example of what it looks like to only live in your accomplishments, look at the black men around you. You in a city full of them. Look at how devoid they are. Look at what it took them to get to where they are. Look at how underdeveloped some of them are emotionally. This is what you want? Is this what we're gonna do, to let accomplishments be band-aids for that?
Part of the curse on women is we desire to be desired. But now it's out of order, because now we have women that they got a man, but they're worried about why other men don't think about them, or what other men think about them, or they're posting like they're still trying to attract or advertise for other men and arguing with a man about what they're posting. Why can't I post this? I don't understand this. Why not? You are watching these other women that are girlfriends at best. They may not be nobody's wife, not for long. How they're conducting themselves, and you're saying that's what I want. No, you don't want that. That's out of order. That's why it don't work. When we're so worried about what other people, what so this random man in Alaska, whether he likes your video or not, or whether some dude at the gas station thinks you're attractive or not. Now we're making our man feel like he not enough because we haven't dealt with our own insecurities. We're so busy trying to look attractive to the overarching whole. And that's because we don't feel good enough within ourselves. We're too dependent on other people to make us feel good about ourselves. And that's an insecurity issue. And that's another big problem with today's generation. We're incredibly insecure. And because we're incredibly insecure, we're doing all these things to get attention, not intention. And now men are looking at us like, man, they're thirsty. You out here posting yourself twerking with a bikini on to try to get attention from a man to get a like or a follow. That doesn't look like wife behavior. Then we mad at a man because he's sexualizing or objectifying us when you put yourself in that position by what you're posting. You out here posting or showing yourself in different locations, you traveling more than the Harlem Globetrotters, and people trying to understand, what do you do that you're traveling this much? We know you ain't working that type of job that you traveling so much, but you're just allowing yourself to be, I want to be flown out here. I'm seeing this lifestyle. This lifestyle is not attractive to men who are looking for a wife. That lifestyle is attractive to a man who wants you for a night at best or a weekend at best. Let's go to St. Bart's for the weekend and then come back and I don't want to hear from you again. That's not the type. When you have to understand, when you're playing a wife game, you're playing the long game. What does that mean? It'll feel like you're losing before you're winning.
The greatest threat to women is men. If men as a group were inherently harmful, then there would be no men defending women from other men.
Yeah, you know,
Have you heard of a
men get a lot of flack, but I think when it comes to acts of bravery, acts of heroism, men are very much overrepresented there. When you see some like natural disaster, you look at the flooding that happened in Texas, it's a man carrying some old grandma. It's a man going into the rushing waters and grabbing a dog, or a man saving kids, or a man saving women. You need to balance your like, men are so horrible in all these ways. What about male bravery? What about male courage? What about I don't know why you're lying. Like almost all the vast majority of acts of bravery and courage and life-saving and emergency saving, it's men. Where's the gratitude there? What about just the plumbers? I mean, literally, no pun intended, would hit the fan if we didn't have people, it's almost men, who do the dirty, dangerous, gross, hazardous jobs. When it's snowstorming and there's a catastrophic breakdown in the power grid failure or utility pole collapses or whatever, it's not some 5'2" woman going out at 3 a.m. in the snow, in the rain, in the hazard. It's a man who's going to get that back on. And there's a complete lack of gratefulness for the sacrifices men make and how men really, you don't like to hear it. I get it. You don't like to hear it.
Oh, women use simps against attractive men. When women can't get or control a man who's attractive, they use simps to feel better and try to make other men jealous. Simps aren't men who are good to or respect women. They are men who will sacrifice anything, their self-respect, for an attractive woman. Attractive men refuse to simp. That is actually a huge part of why they are attractive, because they have self-respect. This can confuse a lot of women who aren't used to men who have self-respect. It often stems from their own insecurity and feeling small because of the attractive man. He has levels of security that she is not capable of. So when she can't get or control him, she uses simps against him. She'll suck them dry of validation, attention, effort, resources, to feel better, worthy, like she matters, and to flex on other people. Many times to make men they do find attractive jealous. She competes with presence on the backs of simps, using them as leverage to feel powerful, when it's really insecurity. Insecurity seeks to control. It comes from ego, wanting to feel secure through validation. Except attractive men see through this nonsense, that it's just a false portrayal of value, that it's hidden insecurity, and to let it be. Even if he feels a little jealous, he will never sacrifice his self-respect, no matter how pretty she is. Watch my YouTube for more. One-on-one calls in the bio. Drizzle, drizzle.
All these women online constantly crying about age gap, saying things like men only date younger women because they're easier to manipulate. Or they only date younger women because they can't get women their own age. Or that's like saying men only drive Lamborghinis because they can't afford a Honda Civic. Why don't I date women my own age? I don't know. Why don't you date men your own height? Why don't you date men shorter than you? If he was a stock, it would be plummeting after 24. By 40, it's already lost 80% of peak value. By 50, it's basically a penny stock. No wonder women would rather choose the bear. After 24, they're getting mauled in a bear market.
Honey, you are freaking deluded.
For so many years, the rhetoric was all these women are going to end up alone. There's never been so many women that are unmarried without children. And I think this takes back the narrative of like, look at these lives that women are building and look how much happier you can be single than with somebody that is dragging you down and draining your resources.
This idea of unmarried, alone, single, childless women, full of their career, being happy. This is the story I always tell about that, 40-year-old woman who lives in a place like New York City and has the really nice apartment and has the really good job. And, everyone, all of these young women look at her and say, oh, she's got it all. She didn't need a man and she didn't need kids. And inside that woman is rotten.
There was somebody that said a lot of these women basically have the order of things backwards, right? A lot of these modern women, they do want to be desired. And you look at that and you say, yeah, I think a lot of people want to be desired. But I think there is an issue that arises when you take that desire and it becomes a priority in a relationship to where, I will get it at all costs. Anything that I need to do to reach the level. My man is boring. That's why they say, being with that man, there's no sparks, there's no butterflies. He doesn't, I can predict where he's going, It's boring. What she really means is he told me that I'm pretty, but he's not obsessing over me to where I feel like I'm powerful. I feel like, it just, honestly, for a lot of these modern women, there is a sexual element to it, to be honest with you. It is. For them, the level, the desire that they're trying to reach, there is a sexual element to it. Not necessarily saying that they go in their room and they get off to it, but it's something that kind of does a little something to them. And that's what they're looking for. They're trying to reach that level of attention and validation and so on and so forth. And that's just not healthy. And I wouldn't recommend you do that.
A lot of y'all women want to be men until you put in the full-time position of a man. One thing you have to understand about being a man, baby, is that nobody gives a about you. Nobody cares about how you feel. And a lot of y'all women are too entitled. Y'all are too entitled. Y'all want the world to care about y'all. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But as a man, you don't get that grace. You don't get to be a woman that acts like a man but gets the benefits of being a woman. Once you cross over in that threshold and you call yourself a masculine woman and you want to act like a man, baby, you get the benefits of being a man. And the benefits of being a man is you get to work yourself to and you don't get no credit for you get blamed for everything. Everybody needs you when you're up, and when you're down, don't nobody give a about you. That is what it is to be a man. And to be real with you, the good men have it the worst because they get used up. They get used and disposed of and ridiculed. The best men have the worst baby mamas. Worst baby mamas, man. You know what I mean? They get slutted out and dogged out. And it ain't a thing of, oh, he chose her. Nah. Women are just mean-spirited, dog. Most women are rude as mean, inconsiderate, and selfish. You find a good thing when you find a woman that is a good person. Not even a good woman, but a good person. A woman who is a genuinely good human being. Most women, especially the beautiful ones, they're horrible. They are absolutely horrible, bro. They are little pretty narcissists. Them women don't be giving a fuck about anything but themselves, dog. They be in competition or secret competition with every other pretty woman just because they're pretty. Crazy, bro. Crazy.
I don't think men like women anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that men desire us women anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Us real women. I don't think that they
What?
value us like they used to. Men aren't really putting out effort.
Why should
They're not putting out any type of effort like they used to. Taking a girl on a date becomes an issue. You know, spending money on a woman is an issue. You should have your own money as a woman. Going out to do something fun is an issue. Why don't you just come over to the house and we could do something in the house? I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm from New York. But I see women all over the globe complain about what's happening with men nowadays. Is it women that's not making themselves desirable anymore? Because there are beautiful women out here. Beautiful women, ambitious women, caring women, nurturing women who are outside looking for love, and men that just can't keep up with that. Like,
What?
they're not communicating with them. They're not willing to hang out and do fun things.
Bro, I wouldn't like them either if I was a guy. And I don't like them either. And I'm a woman. They're annoying. They're not dating for love. They're dating for money.
Women's standards today are completely unrealistic. Their list of what they want in a guy is too long. This is why you hear women saying, I can't find any good men. There are no good men out there. There are plenty of good men out there. They exist. They are in this world. They always have been, but you'll never find them if the list is too long. The data doesn't lie. There are more single women now than ever, and it is not like men have completely changed. In fact, I would argue that men are doing better than ever. It's so much easier for a man today to be successful. He has access to information in the internet to become a better guy. Men are leveling up everywhere, but if the list is too long, you'll never find that guy.
This is actually something so frustrating to men because they hold themselves back from approaching women since they've been told time and time again that women don't want to be approached. But then here's these women wondering why men aren't approaching them while they're looking like they are having the worst time ever. Which is so frustrating because it feels like a game and meeting new people is tough enough. Especially when you don't want this to be the thing that's eliminating potentially good partners. I mean, there's already enough crazies out there, which is why I always recommend to men to do a public data check on a trusted website like publicdatacheck.com before pursuing.
Why do you expect men to save women? Men to understand women's past? Men to understand women's stories? When these women say they don't want a broke guy, do they even care to understand that, okay, maybe this guy was born from poor parents. Maybe this guy came from a family, we'd say a family with no connections whatsoever. Do they ask themselves, maybe this guy was an orphan? Do they ask themselves, maybe this guy is not able to catch a break? Do they ask themselves that? They still want what? A rich man. They don't give a about your story. Why should men give a about women's stories?
Men don't approach women anymore because of FOBC. They don't want to be viewed as a creep. They don't want to be rejected, especially hot men. The only men that are going up to women and approaching them are ugly.
Guys have figured out the game, and the guys that have options don't need to approach you anymore. That's just the reality. You're so for the attention now that they have figured out that if they've got it together, if they're, pretty good looking, if they've got their finances and if they've got the confident energy, all that stuff, they don't need to go over to you.
Why do guys want to be chased instead of courting women now?
What I'll say is, women, you need to
position yourself to be caught. There's not enough women out here positioning themselves as feminine women. I think a lot of us are the man we want to be. So some of us got to take accountability for how hard we're being so that a man actually wants to chase us.
Here's the thing. I think that the women can start being feminine again when the men start being masculine again. Because these are the new bad. They want to be the bad now. They want to be put up. They asking you what the you bring to the table. So in the position, because women are reflections of their men, and we have now switched roles with them, I cannot step into my femininity until you step back into your masculinity, right? So I think that in order for us to stop chasing, these gotta stop running, stop asking these women, you know, what have you done for me lately and all of that. These are the new Beyoncés out here. It's rough in these streets, especially in Atlanta, if you know, you know.
Hey, hold on. Number one, nobody should be chasing after anyone. It should be a mutual effort on both sides. And you never have to chase what God sent. A lot of dudes, if we're gonna keep it real, they saw years of men chasing women only to get played. While the men who didn't do half the work got the benefits. Because when you're really into a man, you don't make him jump through all these extra hoops. And when you do, it's because there's some other trauma maybe you haven't resolved. All right? So the goal ain't about making anyone chase, why this one's doing that. It's about, are we in alignment? Or do we have a connection? Can we build something together here and make it healthy and successful?
I've seen a lot of the women talk about, that ain't me, I never chase a You know, you chase that man every time you forgive him and he ain't earned that. You chase that man every time you double, triple text back without no response. You chase that man every time you say, when you gonna take me out? We only hang at 2 a.m. Some of y'all chasing and you don't even know it. You chase every time you settle.
Come on.
You lessen what you know you deserve and expect from a man in a relationship. You settle every time. You want a man more than you want your dreams, your goals, and your ambitions. Sometimes chasing doesn't mean you actively running after it. Sometimes it's you dropping everything you got on your plate for a man that only made you an option. Every single time you rush the phone when he called, when you know he leave you on red. And that's the you give head to. I guess what I'm saying is, some of y'all are chasing and you don't even know it.
And I think the guy was talking about modern women want to be men until they're put in the position of being one. Being a good man for, in a lot of instances, it sucks. And he's right. A lot of times as the man, and this is what modern women want, they want the man to continue doing what the man is doing. I want you to continue being good to me and helping me out and being my piece. And, whenever I can't even say not keeping up drama in the house because I want drama. And because you're a good man, you're not going to create that drama for me. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to seek it out. I'm going to find it. But when I get into trouble, I want to know that you're going to be there. I want to know that you're going to be behind me and you're going to guarantee my safety. So if it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I done got in a fight in the club where you told me not to go because probably with my mouth and the way that I act, I'm going to get in a fight. Now here we are. And then you telling me, come up here now. She say she going to go get her man. Bring something. Bring a little something with you. Right? And you already know what she's talking about. No, I'm not bringing that. Because nobody is about to get eliminated tonight. Right? What would happen if brothers started saying, you know what? Well, let's just see what happened first. Hey, bro, what happened? Oh man, we know she said that my girl is telling me this. Oh, well, my girl is telling me this. So what happened? Oh, I don't know, man. Seemed like they just fighting, they just yapping. So nobody put their hands on nobody? Nah, man, not that I can tell. Oh, all right. Well, I'm gonna take my lady home. Appreciate you, bro. All right, man, take it easy. Then a lot of that stuff would be eliminated. People would have a lot more peaceful lives. There are a lot of men that would still be here today. I would even say there would be a lot of women that would still be here today. Because first of all, you're not keeping up a lot of mess. Second of all, you're not, even when mess arises because of somebody, because to be fair, sometimes you get a little heated, sometimes, right? And I'm not excusing being accountable for you going out there and popping off at the mouth, but sometimes because people are different, then, you know, you have different opinions. But what if you start to talk it out? And even if you can't come to an agreement, you go your separate ways, right? You ain't got to put your hands on anybody. You ain't got to pull out something on somebody. Just go home, man.